This is the CRL Modified Division, here for the 16th of 17 rounds in 2009, a race simply known as Darlington. Randy Robinson captures his first ever Red Robin Pole Award, and in doing so ends Sean Percy's slim hopes at winning the championship. So with 2 races to go, this one and the next one in Rockingham, 8 drivers still have a shot at winning the title. Mike Lee starting on the outside of the front row in the 15, pokes a nose out in front going into 1, but watch Robinson sweep by and jet set off with the lead, going into the back straightaway for the first of 37 times in this sunny Sunday afternoon in South Carolina. Here's Alan Musico, point leader, coming into today, qualified only 26 for today's race, and he's in a bad spot because Darlington is not a track that favors drivers who start at the back. You got to start in the front if you want to have a really good run there. You see Nathan Ferguson back there as well. Ferguson qualified 30th, so the top 2 in points struggling today. First caution on lap 2. This is at mid-pack. Jeremiah Brooks in the 06 gets into the back of Azuma Kazuyama going into 3. Kazuyama gets into the wall, slides down the banking, gets hit by Brendan Rohde. You see that cryptic black smoke coming from the front of the 61, but he would actually stay in the race. Here's what happened to Rohde as he gets into the right side of Kazuyama, spins out. Alan Musico sort of tapping the 30, but all 3 cars would stay in the race. Would not take long for the second caution to come out, but it was the last caution of the day as well. This is on lap 8. Musico gets into the back of Brooks going into 3. The 06 spins out, comes back up the track. Nathan Ferguson ends up getting involved as well. There you see him hitting the 06 as he passes by, but all 3 cars would continue. And here is Ferguson. Qualified 30th at this point. He's last in the race. Got mad at his crew and yelled at them following the bad run. You're going to see Kazuyama scrape the wall coming out of 2. Gary D'Souza told Ferguson he shouldn't be doing that. Ferguson told him to mind his own business, and Sean Percy told him, hey, if neither of you 2 shut up, I'll shut the both of you up. So they both shut up. Here is Alex Neshmary, who qualified 4th, second at this point in the race, being passed by the aforementioned Mr. D'Souza for second spot, and he sort of drifts high up the banking, so that leaves the inside door open for Lee as they come onto the front straightaway. But Neshmary does a nice job of holding off Lee, or at least keeping him beside him, but Lee will complete the pass as they go into turn 1. So in 2/3 of a lap, Neshmary drops from 2nd to 4th. Now take a look and listen to this. CJ Cameron qualified 7th for today's race, up to 5th at this point. He's also 5th in points, 28 out of the lead. He's in a really nice spot. If he finishes here and Musico doesn't score, he'll gain 10 points, and he'll still have a really, really good chance at the championship. Speaking of championship contenders, here's a guy going backwards. Axel Andersson, 3rd in points coming into today. Qualified 8th, but at this point he's drifted back to 16th spot. So the Swede is going backwards at the worst possible time of the year. He so recovered his championship hopes when he won round 11 at Mosport for his 2nd win of the year. It looked like his title hopes were dead after he won round 2 at Watkins Glen way back in February. And here is Robinson coming off of turn number 4 to complete the 20th lap of the day. He's led them all at this point. Gary D'Souza all over the back of Robinson, but the 19-year-old Australian's not going to get anywhere because Robinson does a great job of holding him off. Checking back in on the point leader, Musico. At this point in the race, he's still 26th, and Ferguson's right behind him. So neither of the top 2 contenders going anywhere, and Musico will not clinch the championship today, unfortunately for him. And here is Carter Lice in the 01. This is his last points race in the division. He's going to move on to the RROL Elite Series next year. Chuck Bloomers, who will join the CRL Modified Division in 2010, will drive the 01 car in the final round at Rockingham. The 01 still has a shot of clinching a spot in the top 12 in owners' points and getting a spot in the first 3 races of 2010 at Irwindale, Phoenix, and Loudon. So good luck, Chuck, next weekend. Lice will be back for the All-Star Week following Rockingham. This is with 10 laps to go. Neshmary in 3rd. Going to take a look to the inside of Mike Lee going into 1. And the Edmontonian blast by the 15. But they're well behind Robinson and D'Souza. So they got a lot of catching up to do. However, it takes them only 3 laps to do it as Robinson and D'Souza get trapped behind CJ Long and Kazuyama. and somebody's going to have to make a move. They hit the front straightaway. Robinson to the inside of Kazuyama. Neshmeri to the inside of D'Souza, and watch how quickly Neshmeri disposes of D'Souza and Kazuyama, and he's right up on the back bumper of the 22 as they head onto the back straightaway, and there's Robinson having trouble trying to lap CJ Long as they head into turn 2, but as they head down the back straightaway, Robinson will comfortably lap him, but he's still got Neshmeri to deal with. Meanwhile, here's last week's winner. Montana Moses qualified 13th for today's race. He's in 6th, but he's about to be 5th. This is with 5 laps to go as he passes CJ Cameron going into turn 1, so it looks like Moses will back up his win with another top 5 finish. That same lap, Randy Robinson comfortably leading coming out of turn 4. Looks like he's going to win this race, right? He's led every lap. No, watch Neshmeri come right up in the back of the 22. As they go into 1, he's going to look down to the inside and watch it blow by Robinson going into turn 1. Robinson drifting high up the racetrack, allowing Mike Lee to catch up. So Neshmeri leading with 4 laps to go. Now, let's go to the final lap. We're going to show it to you in its entirety. Neshmeri's trapped behind Ferguson. Got a nice bit of a lead, though, over Robinson. There you see Lee right behind them. White flag is out. Neshmeri makes no attempt to lap Ferguson. They come into turn number 1. Neshmeri pokes down to the inside. Now Robinson's in the back of the 37. They head on to the back straightaway. Robinson shows no signs of making a move until they get to turn 3, and he makes a big mistake, because he's going to look to the outside of Neshmeri, and he leaves the inside open, and there's Lee to the inside for second, and Alex Neshmeri is going to come off of turn 4. He's going to win Darlington. He's going to get his first ever CRL Modified Division victory as Robinson goes from 1st to 3rd in the final 4 laps as Neshmeri steals the trophy away. What a run for the 17-year-old Edmontonian who had such a brilliant debut in round 8 at Grand Detour and finished 2nd. Meanwhile, here's CJ Cameron off turn 4. He was 6th until the final lap when Landon Rody passed him. He'll finish 7th and just keep his championship hopes alive. Here's Carter Davids finishing 12th and grabbing the final point of the day. His championship hopes are now gone. And here is Alan Musico coming off turn 4. He can only muster a 22nd place finish, and now he is Randy Robinson breathing down his neck as we head to the finale at Rockingham. We'll get to that in a moment. But here is a sight we've been expecting to see since his debut in Southern Illinois in round 8. Alex Neshmeri doing the burnouts, celebrating his first ever victory in the CRL Modified Division. No bonus points for him. Robinson picks all of them up. The first sweep since Reed Weber in round 3. Of course, Weber won that race at Richmond. And now I'm going to show you the top 12 in a different format than usual. Neshmeri wins. Mike Lee finishes 2nd. There you see Robinson finishing 3rd. Gary D'Souza has his best finish to date. Moses with a nice 5th place run. Landon Rody a quiet 6th place. Cameron 7th. Ron Mertz finishing 8th. Tina Lee coming home 9th. Nice quiet run for JF Moreau to finish 10th. Craig Mummert finishes 11th. And Carter Davids comes home today in 12th spot. As for the other 3 championship contenders, I'm going to flip the page and show you those notable finishers. Anderson finishes 19th, Musico ends up 22nd, and there is Nathan Ferguson finishing in 30th. Top 15 in points. The drivers in blue still have a shot at winning the title. Robinson now only 6 points behind Musico heading into Rockingham, and CJ Cameron has to win Rockingham and sweep all of the bonus points because Musico owns all the tiebreakers, so he's going to need a lot of help to win the championship. Neshmeri moves up to 9th with his victory today. Robert Kleselin 15th. He is 1 point ahead of Moses as we head into the final round. Now, let's take a look at the top 10 in owners' points. The cars in blue have clinched their spots in the top 12 and will be on the grid for the first 3 races of next year. They are the 10 car that Musico drives, Robinson's 22, Ferguson's 4, Anderson's 97, although Anderson won't be back next year. CJ Cameron's 13. There you see the 1 in 7th spot. The 37 is a new car, so it has no shot of clinching the top 12, although it did get 20 points today. There you see Landon Rohde down in 10th. Now let's flip the page and show you 11 through 20. Sean Percy's on the bubble in 12th spot, or at least the 62 car is. There you see the 94 out of West Coast Racing, Jay Janner, and of course won round 12 at Edmonton in dominating fashion. But they have not indicated whether or not they'll be on the grid in 2010, so we're still awaiting word on them. There you see the 06 down in 20th spot. And two cars have an outside chance of clinching spots in the top 12. They are the 40 car driven by Mike Falls out of FYOVR and Craig Mummert's number 14 out of MT Motorsports. So now there's just one round to go. 5 drivers, but only one will be crowned the champion. It's the CRL Grand Finale at Rockingham.